Hi, and welcome to the video for instructions on Shall We Dance, which is our newest Bead Brave kit. And with this kit, my goal was to help teach you about texture. Now, texture is something that I find to be very, very important with bead mosaics. It's part of the fun of them is the touching aspect, and it's something that I encourage with all of my clients. Touch the work, interact with it, and enjoy all the textures that the beads have to offer. But I wanted to focus on, with this piece, the reason I did it in black and white was to show not just contrast, but also how a single color can hold so much power. This is black on black on black. There's different shades of black in here. And when you look at the beads that you received, you're gonna notice that hematite is just a different shade of black. Then you have your iris colors that are black, but kind of not black. So I'm encouraging you to use them all to their advantage. Now, the bugle beads is what this project is going to focus on. And these bugle beads I gave you are different styles. They are twisted bugles rather than straight flat bugles, which is what most people are used to. And they're pretty easy to find. I used a standard length so that if you were trying to replicate this in another project, it would be fairly easy to do. And then I also used the round beads. Now, this project uses two different colors of art edge. So your edges are actually going to be black rather than white. That doesn't affect anything. But the lines in here are white, and then the cat and the mouse are going to be black. So you're going to need to do the art edge part first. But before you do that, you are going to paint the background black. And the reason that we're doing that is because when you're using black beads, if you have a white background with them, it is going to show through. It's going to show through the gaps, it's going to show through the holes, and you want it to look like a pure black. So go ahead and paint the background, and you're going to do that. Here's your board. You can go right over the top of the lines. That's not a problem. They will still show through. So it doesn't have to be a super heavy coat of black paint either. It was supplied in your kit, but just go ahead and paint everything except the mouse and the cat before you do your art edge. Once it's painted, then you're going to go ahead and add your art edge product to the top of the paint once it's dry. Once that is done, you can follow the steps on the instruction sheet, which have us starting with this section up here, right in here. And what you're doing is I've started you laying single beads straight across. So this one is going to go vertical, this one is going to go horizontal. And the best way that I have found to do that is simply to put a dab of glue, then take your tweezers, dip the bead in the glue, and then set it into place. Now you do have a bottle of skinny glue. With this area, you're going to use your Aleene's full strength tacky glue. And the reason that I do it that way is because then you're not going to get big clumps of glue. If you lay glue into place, it tends to be puddled, and then when you put it in, it squishes all over, and it kind of gets messy. But if you want to just put a dab inside so that you're not messing anything else up, just put a dab in there, dip it, and place each one. Now, one of the challenges with this is that these are not going to be a perfect fit. Get them in there as good as you can. You are going to have some gaps on the end, which you can fill with some of the seed beads if you want, with the black seed beads that are provided. You can fill those little gaps, or they probably won't even be noticeable once you're done. But that is one of the challenges when working with bugle beads, is that they don't tend to always fit into place because they're not quite small enough. So you're going to lay these horizontal, you're going to lay these vertical, and then the next section is going to be over here, which is a herringbone pattern. Now there are close-up pictures on your instruction sheet of this area, and this is going to be like a zigzag. And so you're going to kind of do the same thing. I encourage you to start on the outside edge of this area and work your way in. That way they fit better and you can just kind of tweak things over here in the middle. But you're gonna go angle down, angle up, and then straight down to create a line, and then angle down and angle up. And that creates a wonderful texture. Now these textures can be used as background areas for your projects, or they can be used as the primary area. It doesn't, wherever you're looking to differentiate some sort of a texture using your beads. You'll continue down here. We've got a checkerboard pattern over here, and then we've got a zigzag pattern. So we're just trying out different ones. They are all in your written instruction sheets. Just try them all. Now with the seed beads, I actually just placed them into here like I usually do, which is more loose. But if you want to keep going with this texture, I encourage you to use your beading needle that you might have received in one of your other kits and line these up. Line up your seed beads as well, at least in a few of the areas. It'll make it more interesting and make it just as beautiful or more beautiful even. The cat and the mouse I did leave the way I did because I love the sparkle on them, and having them contrast with the white just makes them really pop out. So once you're done with your background stuff, you can lay your seed beads in, and then you're going to use the same pour glue, skinny glue over the top of everything as you did. Now it's okay if you pour skinny glue over the top of these, and I actually encourage you to do that when you're done so that it's an extra layer of glue in case you didn't get enough glue on one of the beads. That's going to help secure everything down. This project is, I think it's fun. I love the subject matter. I don't do very many cats. Honestly, I'm more of a dog person, but cats are very elegant. And I love the kind of interaction and play between this cat and mouse. And I called it Shall We Dance because this background reminded me of like a disco. And with the flashing lights and things like that, and she's kind of very demure, and the mouse is like, hey, can we dance? And so I just thought it was a lot of fun. But I hope that you have a great time with this, and that you challenge yourself to do some other patterns maybe that are not shown on here, and that you start using those in your projects as well. So thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you have an incredible day.